What's up, everybody? Matt Kajeski here, back again with the Odd Shopper channel, talking some college basketball bets. January the 27th, Friday, short slate, but we're going to dive into it. Before we get started, make sure to hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you're on podcast, please leave a rating and review. That helps us a ton. And we are sponsored by DraftKings. They have a phenomenal no-brainer and limited time offer for you guys. Right now, if you click the link in the video description below or head to DraftKings Sportsbook, make a first deposit of at least $5 into your account and make a $5 wager on anything you like. Could even be one of these games. You're automatically going to get $200 paid out in the form of free bets. It's literally free money into your account. So make sure to take advantage of DraftKings and this no-brainer offer they have right now. All right, it's Friday, mid-major Friday. It's a short slate. I love when we have these games that profile some of these mid-major teams, but it's still a very short slate. So I only actually bet one game, but there's a second game I'm going to bet if injuries break the right way. Let's start with the first game that I actually placed a wager on. It's St. Louis taking on Davidson. Took St. Louis -1, currently a -1.5. I think that's completely fine. St. Louis really holds every single advantage here, which is a bit surprising. When we look at these teams, St. Louis, they currently ranked 81st at KenPom. Davidson's 139th. Strength of schedule, St. Louis 109th, Davidson 122nd. St. Louis is 6-1 in the A10. Davidson is 3-5. Davidson only has 3 wins in the top 200 all season long. San Francisco forward him in Old Dominion. Meanwhile, St. Louis has beat plenty of top 200 teams. They beat a couple of top 40 teams in Providence and Memphis, but they also beat Drake, George Mason, St. Bonaventure, St. Joseph's, George Washington. Some a little better than others, but all wins in the top 200. And they also have some close losses to good teams. Lost to Auburn by 5, lost to Boise State by 5. They even lost to UMass, who is another top 200 team, believe it or not. But from an efficiency perspective, St. Louis also holds nearly every single advantage. On offense, 62nd, Davidson 183. Defense, slight advantage, St. Louis 172, Davidson 187. On the interior, Davidson's actually pretty good at scoring inside, and that's because they have a massive height advantage on St. Louis that they don't often use very well. From an effective height perspective, you see Davidson ranking 14th. Meanwhile, St. Louis is 307th. Well, how well does Davidson use that height? The answer is actually pretty bad. They're 273 in rebounding. St. Louis is 13th. Shocking discrepancy considering the lack of height St. Louis has and the height Davidson does possess. And then Davidson's terrible at defending the interior. They're 243. Meanwhile, St. Louis is 30th. That's excellent interior defense and stops the only strength on offense that Davidson has, because Davidson ranks 340th in three-point percentage. This is one of the worst shooting teams in the country. And lastly, you have a team in St. Louis that doesn't turn the ball over whatsoever on offense. Really, every single advantage here points towards the Billikens. And I mean, Yuri Collins is back. He's one of the best point guards in the country. That's why they turn the ball over so infrequently. We'll be back in St. Louis -1, -1.5. Second game we'll talk about, we will bet if it goes a certain way, is Sienna taking on Iona. Sienna is +5.5 right now. They opened +6.5, and they've quickly taken some money. I think that's because of some injury news. Iona, they're missing Quinn Salzinski. He's out for the year, but they had Walter Clayton return in their second most recent game, so he's back now. Sienna has Javian McCollum dealing with an injury. He left last game with a back injury. Was called day-to-day, but he also had some tests done, so his status seems fully up in the air. They also returned Jace Johnson to the lineup in their most recent game. He started 13 games before he was injured. The couple big men still dealing with injuries for them. Jordan Kyler, he started 3 games prior to injury, but for the most part, they look like they're getting healthier. But McCollum is a huge part of this game, and I was surprised to see Sienna take money without his status being confirmed. Now, it looks like there's a decent chance he plays based on the money here, but I'll tell you right now, I'm going to bet Iona if he's out, and this is one I'm going to bet at tip because we likely won't get this news before tip. Iona holds every single advantage here. This team is 77th in ranking at KenPom. Sienna's 176. It's about a 100-point gap. Iona is 189th strength of schedule. Sienna is 289th, about a 100 gap. Every single efficiency advantage points to Iona. 55 in offensive efficiency. Sienna's 141. 53 on defense. Sienna's 136. You look at rebounding. Iona 114. Sienna 200, and that's not good with Sienna's injuries in their front court. Turnovers. Iona is 22nd in turnovers committed. Sienna is 255. Turnovers generated. Iona 71. Sienna 232. Even you look at shooting. Iona, they definitely don't have the advantage here. Sienna is 67th in three-point percentage. But this comes down to one player. Andrew Platek is shooting 46% from three. I had to write LOL in my notes to see Andrew Platek being a real difference maker for Sienna, but it's true. You have one player to stop, and fortunately, Iona is 35th at defending the perimeter. If we have a hurt McCollum and one player to shut down in Andrew Platek, this should be a game that Iona runs away with. But McCollum is massive to this team, massive to this team. You look at efficiency stats on a player level for McCollum, this guy's in the top 100 in a ton of efficiency metrics, effective field goal percentage. I mean, assist rate, this guy fouls drawn. He doesn't commit any fouls, free throw rate. I mean, I could keep going with McCollum. He's an excellent player for this team and a huge difference maker. And I think probably the reason why Sienna took some money to begin with. But if he's out, this will be an Iona play for me. Hopefully we don't get much line movement through the day. I would not want anything more than -6 here, but we shall see. We will likely back Iona, but we will have to wait until that news comes through. All right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Thank you to OddsShopper for hosting the video. My name is Matt Gajeski. You can find me on Twitter at Matt_Gajeski if you'd like. Hit the thumbs up button, subscribe on the way out. But we'll be back again tomorrow breaking down the full Saturday slate. So we will see you then, and good luck.